My name is Grania and I'm a student.
My name is Megan and I am a part-time sales assistant.
I just joined in January, so about 3 months ago.
I have been in the Order of Malta for about 5.5 years now.
I did a first aid course a few months ago. I work in UCD in the residences and we don't really get to use it that much, so I just looked online for a place that I could actually use it more.
When did I join? Short answer, that's what my friends were doing at the time. I had no idea what everybody was talking about when they were talking about NRBs or oxygen or, all these new gizmos that they'd seen on the ambulance. So I kind of went down for one night and loved it. Like the first night I was here, they put me on a spinal board, completely strapped in Velcro spider straps and turned me upside down. And I just decided, yes, I will come back here every week.
Well, a lot of the patient approach and things, in the first aid we did CPR and all that basic stuff, but you don't really learn practical things because it's just in a classroom. It's not like we do scenarios and stuff here that are a lot more realistic.
The first aid, primarily, obviously. I wouldn't have had any clue about any of that kind of thing when I came in. I wouldn't have known how to do CPR or use an AED or anything like that. I would have had no experience whatsoever, and even the little bits that my friends were talking about before I came down made no lasting impression. So all of that stuff was totally new, and now I feel fairly in-depth at it. I'm up to an emergency first responder kind of level and happy with the skills that I have so far. Aside from that, I suppose when I came in I had no idea about teaching things like passing on information at all. I would never have been able to stand up in a room like I was tonight and say, this is how you do something, for fear of somebody going, no, it's not. So I suppose they've taught me a little bit about confidence and how to teach a subject, to pass along the information that's been shared with you, as well as that organisation skills. Just in general, I've never worked in any other organisation other than the Order of Malta, but trying to organise the likes of the fundraisers and even when you're out on duty, trying to organise a team, they've been a massive help with that.
Well, I know they provide ambulance care at different events around the place. We're in Dublin and the whole country.
When your son is at his Saturday rugby match and he turns over on his ankle, we're there. And when your husband decides he's Maradona at his over 40s five-a-side football match, we're there. When the horses are running around the track, we're there. And when your granny is off on her annual trip to Lourdes, we're bringing her in our ambulance to the airport, and we're all over the place. You'll see us anywhere and everywhere, and if you haven't seen us, you haven't looked hard enough, or you've confused us with St. John's or the Red Cross.
Well, on every week we are all here together in Blackrock and we hang out and we bit of crack while we're learning, and we have a pub quiz in the next few weeks, and we're all going to the Share Village in Fermanagh in July and to get to know each other more before the competitions, apparently in September. So
you see them every Monday night, and with the training there's an aspect of fun to it. With the interaction itself, it's just in the nature. You can't help but have a little giggle every now and again. But as well as that, in between we have breaks, and there's a lot of chatting and interacting there. But outside your own unit as well, there's this whole field, this whole tribe of people who, regardless of whether or not you've ever met them before, you're wearing the same jumper as they are, and automatically you have something in common. You're both carers, you're both people, the type of people who give up their time for no money and no thanks, and automatically you know them a little bit. So when you go into the O2 and you're doing a duty with Dundrum or Palmerstown or Harold's Cross, you might have seen them before. You may not remember their name, they may not remember yours, but you have something in common. And then there's always competitions, which is a big get together for all the units all over Ireland, where you might see a unit from the back arse of nowhere, then someone that you haven't seen since competitions last year that you had a brilliant time with, or them from a duty way out west nowhere, oxygen, Crow Park or Slane, whatever. And that's for one time you get to see them a year. But automatically you just fall back into that, and it's a thing that all of us feel.
Well, I've heard of people going to different like sporting events for local places, like for schools, and there's a rugby blitz or something on there if you weekends go, and St. Patrick's Day had a parade, and obviously and I saw them at the Bray one.
A lot of concerts, a lot of trips to the races, a lot of sports events. So the likes of the O2, I've been there an awful lot of times. And it's not just about the free concert, it's, you know, it's the opportunity of being there and being able to help somebody at their like worst point, because they've paid 50 quid to go and see their favourite band or whoever, and now they've ended up in this first aid post. You can guarantee they do not want to be there. So it's the opportunity to kind of let them feel a little bit better about this terrible experience they're having. I kind of like that about the O2. As well as that Leopardstown race course, when you're going around in the ambulance after the jockeys, or when you're standing at a jump and all the horses go over this one jump, and we have a jump so close to the end that they're all belting, absolutely belting down this stretch, and they all go up, and everything about you and your partner, everything just freezes and your heart stops, and then you go, okay, they're clear, okay, that's fine, okay, go on, yeah, go on. Well, at the race course, but it was for AC/DC, which was an event and a half. I was only just turned 18, I was barely allowed to go, and like, it was the craziest night of my life. And at the end of the evening, my OC sat down, my officer in charge sat down, and she sat everybody down for a debriefing, and she went, remember this patient? You saved that man's life. Everybody who had a hand on that man, you got him out in 2 minutes, you saved that man's life. And we all went, and this was the first time that had ever happened to me, so it scared the bejesus out of me. But again, massive rush. But all of that down to the little sports co football tournament that happens once a year. It's not the same rush, but it's the same feeling of being able to be there for somebody. Like, all of the events, they're just crazy. It's a really weird feeling that you can't explain until somebody's done it. But that's why I do every duty that I can. And that's what some people will ask you, well, you don't get paid for it, what's the point? That's the point.